And it is game time. It's always game time here for me. It feels like I am ready to not work from home. I'm not really. I have a hard time getting away from work anyway, and this whole thing has made it even more ongoing, where I try to spend hours not thinking about it. It's hard for me to go an hour without thinking about work in some fashion. So, hello everyone. Good morning. And I think I might actually switch one of my stream times into the evening. Partly because of the contract and other things that I'm working on. Partly so I can maybe go a little bit longer at other times. But that is a possibility. Let's see what our random generation got us this session. We have the yellow kind of dominates the bottom section of the map. Green pinned into a corner. Orange, a nice little chunk in the middle with a couple to purple. So, oh no, they got 3. Actually, this is kind of big gap in the middle. That's kind of interesting. So, we just kind of have this little bit of this chain going on. We also have our day-night cycle now kind of at play. It's pretty basic, but it's kind of fun. Just to mess around with some of those effects. So, what was the next thing? Oh, that I wanted to figure out was why shadows are why they fade in and out at distances. So if we're watching this right now and the day should slowly get a little bit farther, we could actually speed that up if we go ahead and switch our cycle time to maybe like 40. You'll see if I select like this. If I zoom in, now I see shadows. So I have to figure out, that is just going to simply be a Unity setting. Those things are fading away at a certain distance. Shadows fade distance. Disguise missing shadows beyond shadow distance. Project's quality settings. Alright. That's kind of what I figured they would be. But let's go ahead and take a pause on this. Edit project settings. Quality. We are currently at very high. Shadow distance of 70. Yep. So maybe 7,000. Of course, I guess there's a chance that could be really expensive, but oh yeah, look at that. Shadows, much better. Now they're not. Now we get them all the way out here, and everything feels a bit more physical. Yeah. We also still have, some issues here with the overall quality. So maybe let's go ahead and just also change this. Texture quality, full res. Shadow resolution, very high. Hard and soft shadows. Shadow projection. I do not know what I just did. So I'm just gonna leave that untouched. We're actually just gonna go back to here. And if we, go back into this, really what we should be doing is not only changing our sun's light level, but we should also be rotating it. Yeah. So I think we could do that. That shouldn't be too hard, because we know that the closer it is to nighttime, the closer it is to flat. However, our day ping-pongs. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Maybe we'd spend some time on that in the future on a different day, but I think the other thing that we have going on, so that's all the nice fun stuff here to look at just at the start. I'm going to keep this short to an hour because of some work I have to do, but now it is the fun coding time. Big thing we're going to do today is work on the idea of creating port structures. So what does that mean? That means that I want to have ports of different sizes, different scales, that kind of behave a little bit differently depending on how many resources are on their island. So I think the first thing is how many resources. So we're going to have, and I said, we're going to have dock merchant, produces materials, blacksmith. So I think we could actually, we can simplify this a little bit. We know that we have stone, metal. No, we have metal, wood, food. Those are our resources. So depending on how many things, so we're gonna have a function to. We're just gonna go ahead and write it here, and we'll break it out as we need to. So we need to. And I just write this out kind of in comments before I do any actual code, but how much of the resource depending on, so now the question is, do we have different sizes of these things? I think we do. So I think maybe we say we have create none, small, large, and that's it, of this building type. And then create storage based on, and then we should, no. So one of the other things that I was thinking about, how do we have storage? Like, what does storage mean? If we have like a blacksmith, does the blacksmith store all of the metal work? Or do we actually have another place that is storage itself that might be independent? Now, we do actually have actually storage for our port proper. And I think probably that storage might have different sizes. Can have different sizes. Yeah. So we are simply going to say we have a none, a small, or a large building to deal with metal, wood, food. So I think I'm going to say metal equals blacksmith, wood equals mill, food equals butcher. So I wrote these other things here: blacksmith, mill, butcher, but of course we're actually in a seafaring world, so we may need a cannery. But I think we're earlier than canneries. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it vague like that. So, and then things like producer and materials currently don't make sense, so I'm going to not worry about those. So when you make an enum, you don't have to give it a number, but you can. And I think I'm going to, because I have a feeling I may want to rearrange. And it's just a good, easy way to know what I'm doing. Like a good, easy way. Like otherwise, if I were to rearrange this at all, it might rearrange the numbers themselves. So, tower is 9, fort equals 10, and mansion equals 11. Okay. Now let's go back to this. So we're gonna say generate building. I'm gonna say building type dot blacksmith, and I'm gonna give them the threshold for building anything at all. We're gonna say, let's go back and look at our island. Our island can generate. Oh. Resource values, index amount, and max. Okay. This is a bunch of, yeah, we're getting into some. So the resource values, the amount versus the max of a certain index type. And world objects resource values of type that. Metal, wood, food. So now we need to get the amount of resources from our island. We also need to know what a small amount is and a medium amount. think resource values. As a pool of resources. Quality amount, max regen time. You know what, I'm just gonna go into my resource classes and I'm going to set some static values. Public static int resource metal limited is equal to whatever 100. Limited and expansive. It's gonna be more than 1,000. So I'm just throwing this together. Wood limited will be 500. And 2,500. And lastly, food. Food. Sure. So what yeah. So what I'm saying here is just resources dot resource metal limited, comma, resources dot metal expansive, and send it how much is on this island. So, oh, how does our island talk to our port? Or how does our port talk to our island? I believe we have them connected somewhere. Oh, right, the ongoing construction. So let's go ahead and look at our, when we make our islands. There's a chance we add the port in Newport Island. Oh, it is simply island ID. Okay. So then we get world objects dot islands and ID dot resource resources of 0. Wait, that's, oh, islands rs.r. Okay. So we're sending at the island we're currently on and the first resource. It's going to be a better way to access that than resources 0. We also don't have a void generate building, which is going to take a building type, type. I told you what I actually wanted it to be. Then it is going to take a resource. S, then it is going to take an integer small amount and an integer large amount. And I even already have this set to size of 1 to 3. Okay. Public int occupancy and public int occupancy max. Okay. Now we need to have a list of buildings. So let's go ahead and copy this. So we're gonna make that and the mill and the butcher. That's gonna send it 1 and 2. That's also going to determine how much of construction supply and weapons we have. So these things are going to create different amounts of weapons, constructions, and supplies. So if rs.amount is less than a small amount, then we are going to not generate this building at all and only create the resource. So create port structures should actually start by creating storage. Building type. Does our building type need a resource type? Public resource type. No. Item type. Item type. already adding a ton of information. Okay. Right, so this is getting a basic resource. Which has all these values built into it. So we have supply, cheap, basic, needed, basic, basic, basic. And are we ever using this? No. Are we ever using this? No. So I really am thinking about getting rid of these sub-details. Simply having an item type. So when you make it, it's cost, weight, and size. I'm thinking that right now every supply is the same cost, weight, and size. Yeah. So in that case, then, so we're accessing it there. We are accessing it here, and yes. I'm just gonna power through this. So. And say, what type? Type. Not even going to do that. I'm going to comment these out, and instead I'll really do this one by one. If no. Excuse me. All right. Item type dot weapon, comma. That is what the blacksmith makes. All metal is turned into weapons. Right? That makes sense. That doesn't make sense. but that is how I've chosen to simplify my system. Then we're going to add, this actually, we don't want to pass an item type, we want to pass an item. That's what I was kind of internalizing. So item, construction supply, item construction basic, resources dot item construction basis. Resources item, weapon basic, and finally resources dot item supply basic. Metal expansive. This is going to turn into wood limited and wood expansive, and that's also going to get renamed to wood limited and wood expansive and food resource food limited resources food expansive, again rename. Food and rename food. Lowering these, just reducing the number of things that we're looking at. Okay. Oof. Got some long lines here. So now, if our island has less than a small amount, then we only are going to generate enough to put into, so we're going to add, we're going to say storage dot add item 20, and our island will not produce this thing, so it will need it from elsewhere. Else if rs.amount is less than large amount, storage.add item value of 30, and we're going to add a building. Our building is an array. Our set of buildings is an array. So we need to create a series of buildings. So I don't know, why don't we just say buildings equals new building 10. Sure. Building count equals 0. Be private because we're not really dealing with this. The player isn't, or we're not going to be worried about that in the editor. So I'm going to add building of type and gonna send it the so I did make this idea of a generator. Currently, we're not using it at all. Do I want to use that right now? Are buildings of type generator? Are we actually using it? I'm not checking the right thing. No. Okay. So we're going to add a building of building type and of size 1. It is going to rs and item, and those are going to be its attributes. So void create building, keep it consistent. So building type bt comma int size, comma resource r fine, comma item. So now we're gonna say buildings. Building count plus plus equal to new building and public building of building type bt type comma item type comma this also just take a resource type. Type and integer size. So type equals btype. Item type item type equals item type. Resource type equals R type, and size equals size. New building BT of item type, comma, R type, dot type, or no, resource dot R dot type, item dot type, comma, size. All right. Oof. All right, we are almost through with this basic idea. Let's see how that comes out, though. Else. And this is the last thing we'll do. Add a value of 40. No. Let's go say 20, 30, 50. And a size of 2. Okay. So, let's see. So instead of creating stores, once we're done, when does our island create all its resources? It creates it immediately. So it should actually be able to do this stuff. So, port structures. So, hopefully this works. Let's find out. Alright. See if we get any errors. No errors. Alright, no errors there, I don't think. Oh, nope, we did. Alright, that was the thing I was worried about. So creating an island. Then we are, okay, create an island, add I, islands, get object from pool. but getting object from pool isn't necessarily getting the island at that index. So basic values get random position. If ports created is more than island number. If ports created is more than the island number, add ports. Did I do this backwards? Are we actually adding islands at the end rather than at the beginning? I think I just did that. Don't think that's what I meant to do. If 13 is more than no. I did do this right. Because at island 15, ports created is 13. And so it wouldn't do that. Okay. No, I had that right. Math, mornings, math in general. But as you can see, the island ID is not 1-for-1. Doesn't necessarily tie into the actual array position of this island. It is likely to do so because of the way it's constructed, but it's probably not going. But it's not guaranteed. So, which is actually a bit concerning because I don't have any way to. Yeah, that is concerning. I don't have any way to actually track its position itself. Just adding an island at I. Are we doing island ID for anything else? No, it's only here. I think we straight up need to reference the island. Yep. So, in that case, this port, instead of an island ID, we are gonna straight up give it a script island. In that case, this is all gonna go out the window, and it's going to be island ID. Do we call it island ID? Let's call it island location. Or we could just say island. Let's just rename it island. So then this becomes island Same for that. That becomes island. And then this gets passed. The new island. Are we doing anything else with the island number? Nope. So, new island. Script island. That is a big new island. And there. All right, let's find out what is up next. Do we have this again? We still do. Okay. So, what happened? Great port structures. Okay. Yep, that didn't work. What happened? So I think we probably haven't actually gone through our island resources thing yet. Did in our world object we run the setup? We did. Okay. Did we create our resources? Well, so let's go back to our port. Building type blacksmith island. Is it running? It is. Okay. Alright, let us not generate any of these. And try this again. Okay. Metal, wood, food. Amount. Okay. Metal, wood, food, generate building, how much processing, how many resources. Wait. No, we added her, so okay. added our port. Where did we set up our port? Where is this being called from? Are we calling... Oh, we're probably calling this super early. Let's find out. Are we calling this? Yeah, yep, we are. So that's the problem. We're calling this actually when we're just like before we've done anything to the world. So this creating of port structures actually needs to go. Let's this is where we need probably two different things. Set up and init. I'm going to init and create port structures is going to go in there. So now, when we add our port, then here, we're going to say new port dot init. Although we don't even have alliances yet, so assign all port alliances. This actually may be where we want to do this. Or do we assign its values before? And no. Nope. So we'll do this way at the end of everything. Let's say for int j. I'm going to say ports.r.j.init here. Now I bet this works. So this after the world is alive. Called to build as making everything alive. Okay, let's do it. Back to here. Cool. Oh, no, still an error. Object reference not set to an instance. We did build our world though. Let's go. So we have our world, but we don't have any ships. So we have size 3. We have a port, buildings, blacksmith. Okay. Something almost worked. Is it doing the same thing? We're gonna try this again. Wondering if it's gonna be a random. Okay. So it's gonna be one of those. Okay. Only calling it here. Sign all port alliances. Alright. Create. Okay, we have metal, wood, and food. Is there something where one of these is not having these? These all have all of these things. Oh. Right, duh. We have to make sure this stuff is true. And we're gonna need to resolve for that as will. Try this one final time. There we go. No errors. So now on this island we have a port. Which has 0 buildings because this island is tiny and has tiny amounts of things. And on this island, we also have 0 buildings. Do we have any port with buildings? Nope. Okay. Well, that'll be for next time. Thanks for hanging out. Got some work done. I think this was actually a pretty successful one. Again, moving forward on the progress for everything. So, yeah. A technical day, just kind of in the weeds, but making progress. All right. See you all next time.